Everyone, welcome back. This is CeCe. We are back on Cooking Along the F1 circuit. They are back from their summer hiatus, and this weekend the grid lanes in the Netherlands for the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. And if there's one dish that defines cozy, crowd-pleasing Dutch comfort food, it is pannenkoeken. We are not making the American flapjacks that we're all accustomed to, the big pancakes or the paper-thin French crêpes that we're used to. And this is definitely not a Dutch baby pancake either. So Dutch pannenkoeken are huge, thin, plate-filling pancakes where savory bacon and tart apples are mixed together right in the batter. And it's so yummy. And one of the things about pannenkoeken is that the Dutch don't eat pannenkoeken, the pancakes, this type of pancake, for breakfast. It's not a breakfast food. This is a lunch dinner thing that they have, and they'll have it with sweet. They'll have it a sweet version for dessert, or they'll have it as a savory version. So what we're doing is we're doing a savory version. And we are going to be doing it with bacon. So I got some nice thick cut organic bacon. And I've got a Granny Smith apple here. So it is about a half a large Granny Smith apple. And I've got 4 rashers of bacon. So I am making enough pancakes for 2 to 3 people. In here, maybe some so 2 people with some leftovers on it. So whatever you see here, you just double it, and this is how you can just change that recipe for the amount of people that you need. And you're going to need 3/4 cup of milk, and you need some salt. You need 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, and a couple of slices of cheese. I have some Swiss cheese here, but I couldn't get my hand on Edam or Gouda for now, so I'm just using Swiss because it's nice and melty. And you need 1 egg. And to substitute the syrup that the Dutch use, they call it stroopwafel, and I'm going to actually just replace it with maple syrup here. So I'll put up a card up on stroopwafel so you can see what it's all about. So to get started, the first thing we want to do is we want to cook the bacon and the apples, and then we'll put the pancakes together. One of the things I forgot to mention is you're going to need a little bit of sugar to go with that. And I have a magic secret ingredient that I put in mine is I'll put a tablespoon or so of cream. This happens to be 10% cream, but it just adds a beautiful silkiness to the batter when we go to make that. So you'll see that in action. And I like to use just a spray. You could put a knob of butter in it if you want when you do your pancakes, but I just like to do the spray. It's just easier. Okay, so let's get the bacon going. Okay, so you definitely want to have this pre-cooked because we're gonna mix it in with the batter, and it's not gonna have enough time to cook in the batter because the batter cooks really quick. So ideally, you just want to render this down to as crispy as you want. What I like to do is I definitely like to sieve my flour, get it nice and smooth. And I don't like those bits, I just toss that. Now I'm using I'm using self-raising flour here. So you could use also all-purpose. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so now that we have that, we like the bacon really crispy. So I'm just draining this off on a paper towel. And then you have a choice here that you can take and put the apples in here and render it down with the bacon, this bacon flavor, or you can get rid of that and put in some butter. It's your choice. I'm gonna just get rid of this and put some butter. Okay, so I wiped this down. I removed all of the grease, and then we're gonna add in a pat of butter, and we're gonna saute the apples. Now, I like to cut the apples in small wedges like you see here. I don't necessarily like to have them chunky, like cut them and dice them, because I kind of want to put them flat in the pancake. So what we're looking here is we're looking to soften the apples. And I like to use a Granny Smith or a Honeycrisp apple. Now, prefer to use the Granny Smith because it's got a tartness to it. And then, because you're going to put a little bit of the maple syrup on it. So kind of want to balance that savory tart sweetness. So we just let that go and sprinkle some sugar on top. How much sugar? That's up to you. I'm doing 2 teaspoons because I really want some caramelization. Just let that render down. So let's get into making the batter. So we sift out the flour. You can put a pinch of salt if you want in here. Then we want to put 1 egg. Make sure that your egg's at room temperature before you put it in, just like your milk. Let's pour in the milk. I'm going to do half the milk and then whisk it. Just let's sort of start combining everything. And if you find that 3/4 of a cup of milk is your batters are still thick, then you keep adding a little bit of a splash of milk until you've got a nice smooth mixture. So let's do the remaining bit and just keep whisking it until it's nice and smooth. I find that it's a little too thick for my liking. So I'm just going to add a little splash of my cream just to thin it out a little bit. And the trick about doing this is you want to do your batter and you want it to rest for a bit before you actually use it. See? So it's still a little thick. I'm going to add the rest of the cream. So that was 2 tablespoons of cream that I added. Now you could have just added in milk, additional milk. But that's my little hack that I like to do, is I like to put a little bit of cream in there because you get this almost custard-like. Okay, so we'll just let that hang for a bit. So they're nice and they're softening nicely. Getting some color. It's interesting that, they mix apples and bacon together because it was found in archaeological digs that the Vikings would combine crab apples and pork belly meat in their dishes. So I can see the connection. Isn't that interesting when you look at the anthropology of it all? I think it's fascinating. That's what I love about cooking is I get to learn about new cultures and I get to learn about, history and what people did in the past. It's just fascinating. It's amazing what food can bring to the table, so to speak. Okay, those apples are perfect. I think I'm good enough with these apples. I mean, you could caramelize them more if you wanted to. Okay, so now we're just going to add in a knob of butter. And so what we want to do here is we want to add in 2 of the bacon. Let's go 1 sipper like that. Then I'm going to add some of the apples. And then what I like to do for crunch is I'll add some fresh apples as well. Slice of cheese. And then we take the pancake mixture and we pour it in the middle. Okay, so let's put this together. So let me sort of take these off and show you underneath. So this is the one that I had made that sort of plopped up and I broke it when I flipped it over. That was my fault, but it's still yummy. It's still awesome to eat. Still got crunchiness on it. And then what I like to do, trying to make the perfect bite, I got a bit of apple, I got a bit of bacon, bit of caramel, a bit of cheese on it. Let's grab that cheese. Let's give that a try. Mm. Oh, yes. It's nice crispy bacon that's crunching in my mouth. And then the apples have that caramelized sweetness to it. And the dough, like the pancake batter, is so different to an American style pancake, flapjack type of idea. It's light, it's airy, it's really good. So there you have it. We've got pannenkoek, which is what is eaten for lunches and dinners all over the Netherlands. It's a standard place, a standard food, and it's very common to have these pancake houses, pannenkoekens, all over the place. And they eat them continuous. It's kind of like their staple. And again, you can have them sweet, you can have savory. We are actually having them savory here tonight. And it is an amazing dish. It's got all your protein and it's got all of those sinful flavors that you were looking for. Now, I cannot believe the Hungary race because it was finally Lando Norris got the first pole position since the beginning of this year, and he was the winner of last year. So this is the first time he was on pole. So good for him. And Verstappen just shows you that guy does not matter. He will keep charging. He keep fighting, and he ended up second, which is amazing. But what was very disappointing was Carlos Sainz, not getting out of the way for Piastri and then causing an accident, which Piastri had to basically DNF. He had to bail out of the race. It was so unfortunate. So quite disappointed on that. But I am looking forward to the race today, this weekend, and they are in the Netherlands. It's an amazing track. So hopefully you'll join me. You'll get to eat this, make this, eat this. It is something that you can just keep nibbling at and not even realize that you ate it all. And then you wonder why you're full. Because that's how filling these dishes are. Okay? So, thanks for joining me. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you have not yet subscribed, hit subscribe. We are trying to grow our channel and we're looking for your support. If you can do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button, that hypes the video for the algorithm at YouTube to promote this video out to more enthusiasts like yourselves. So once again, thank you so much for joining me. Ciao for now.
Don't forget to hit subscribe.